The sun beat down on the hidden leaf village. Birds sang. Suddenly a booming sound echoed through the streets. Luffy, the future pirate king, had arrived. He was lost, famished, and ready to eat anything he could find. Luffy's stomach growled louder than a raging sea monster. "Food! Where's the food?" he roared, his voice echoing off the buildings. Villagers stopped in their tracks, eyes wide with surprise. Who was this strange, rubbery man? The villagers scattered, but one figure remained unfazed. Naruto Uzumaki, the 7th Hokage, stood tall. He had faced countless threats before. A hungry pirate was nothing new. This was going to be interesting. "Hey, you!" Naruto called out, his voice full of energy. "You look like you could use some ramen." Luffy's head snapped towards the sound. "Ramen?" he exclaimed, his eyes widening. "What's that? Is it edible?" Naruto chuckled. "Only the best food in the world." He led Luffy towards his favorite ramen shop, Ichiraku. Luffy, captivated by the promise of food, followed eagerly. As they walked, Naruto studied Luffy. "So, who are you?" Naruto asked, genuinely curious. "I'm Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm gonna be the Pirate King," he declared, his voice full of unwavering confidence. Naruto's eyebrows shot up. He had a feeling this Luffy was going to turn his world upside down. Naruto leaned back in his chair, a bowl of steaming ramen in his hands. "Pirate King, huh?" he mused, slurping down the noodles with gusto. Luffy, who had already devoured 3 bowls of ramen, slammed his fists on the table. "It's not work if you love it," he declared, his eyes sparkling with determination. "Besides, to be the Pirate King, you gotta be the strongest. That's why I challenge you to a duel." Naruto grinned. "You're on!" He finished his ramen in a single gulp, grabbed Luffy by the arm, and practically dragged him out of the shop. They ended up in a clearing just outside the village, surrounded by towering trees. Luffy stretched his arms, his rubbery limbs extending like elastic bands. "I'm not gonna hold back!" Naruto chuckled. "Neither will I, Luffy," he replied, his voice ringing with confidence. In a flash of movement, he vanished, reappearing behind Luffy in a cloud of smoke. Luffy, caught off guard, barely had time to react before Naruto's fist connected with his jaw, sending him flying backwards. Luffy bounced off a tree trunk, his rubber body absorbing the impact. "Wow, you're fast!" he exclaimed, impressed. Naruto formed a Rasengan in his hand, a swirling ball of concentrated chakra. He charged towards Luffy, the Rasengan crackling with energy. The two forces collided in a blinding explosion of energy. The dust settled, revealing Luffy and Naruto standing their ground. Naruto's Rasengan had dissipated and Luffy's arm was smoking slightly, but neither of them seemed seriously hurt. "That was amazing," Luffy shouted, his eyes shining with excitement. Naruto, equally impressed, dispelled the remaining chakra from his hand. He had never seen anyone withstand a direct hit from his Rasengan and walk away unscathed. Luffy's rubber body and his strange haki were something else entirely. "You're pretty tough yourself," Naruto admitted, a flicker of respect entering his eyes. "What was that energy you were using?" Luffy asked, tilting his head curiously. Naruto smiled. "That was chakra," he explained. "It's the life force energy that flows through all living things. With training, you can learn to control it and use it to perform incredible feats." Naruto decided to start Luffy's chakra training with the basics. He led the eager pirate to a secluded clearing in the forest surrounding the hidden leaf. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, dappling the ground in a mosaic of light and shadow. "All right, Luffy," Naruto began, his voice serious. "Chakra control is all about focus. You need to feel the energy flowing inside you like a river." He sat down, cross-legged, closing his eyes, and placed his hands on his knees, palms up. "Close your eyes and try to sense it." Luffy, never one for meditation, fidgeted impatiently. He tried to concentrate, but all he could think about was the delicious smell of meat wafting from the village. Naruto, sensing Luffy's struggle, opened his eyes. "It's not easy at first," he admitted, a knowing smile on his face. Naruto decided to show Luffy some examples of chakra control in action. They moved to the village's training grounds where young ninja were practicing their skills. Luffy watched in awe as a group of genins scaled a sheer cliff face with ease, their feet sticking to the rock as if by magic. "Whoa, how are they doing that?" Luffy exclaimed, his eyes wide with wonder. Naruto chuckled. "They're using chakra to adhere to the surface," he explained. "It's a basic technique, but it takes practice to master." He then led Luffy to a target range. A young kunoichi channeled chakra into her fingertips, launching a barrage of shuriken with deadly accuracy. With chakra control, you can enhance your physical abilities and even perform jutsu like the Rasengan. Luffy, inspired by what he had seen, decided to give it another try. He sat down with renewed determination, closing his eyes and taking a deep breath. He tried to clear his mind of all distractions, focusing solely on the energy within. At first, it was like trying to grasp smoke. The chakra felt elusive, flickering in and out of his perception. "Easy does it, Luffy," Naruto advised, his voice calm and steady. "Don't try to force it, just let it flow naturally." Luffy, taking Naruto's words to heart, softened his approach. He imagined the energy flowing through his body like a network of rivers and streams. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, Luffy began to sense it. A faint tingling sensation spread through his limbs, a warmth that emanated from deep within. It wasn't much, but it was a start. A small smile spread across Luffy's face. He opened his eyes, a newfound determination burning in them. "I think I felt it, Naruto!" he exclaimed, his voice filled with excitement. Naruto smiled back, proud of his student's progress. "Good, that's the first step. Now try to gather that energy in your hand," he instructed. "Imagine it flowing down your arm like a stream merging with a river." Luffy closed his eyes again, focusing on the feeling of the chakra. He concentrated on his hand, feeling the warmth intensify. Luffy focused intently. Sweat beaded on his brow as he channeled the flow of chakra down his arm. It felt different from his usual haki, less like brute force and more like a gentle but powerful current. He concentrated on gathering it in his palms, the way Naruto had shown him. A faint blue glow emanated from his hands, flickering like a candle in the wind. Luffy's eyes widened in amazement. He had never seen anything like it. "I'm doing it!" Luffy exclaimed, his voice trembling with a mix of excitement and disbelief. "I can feel it, Naruto. The chakra is responding," he laughed, a sound of pure joy and wonder. Naruto, watching from a safe distance, couldn't help but grin. Luffy's progress was remarkable. To sense and control chakra in such a short time was a testament to his natural talent and unwavering determination. "That's great, Luffy," Naruto called out, his voice full of encouragement. "But don't stop there. Now try to combine it with your haki. Merge the two energies together." Luffy paused, his brow furrowing in thought. Combining haki and chakra, he had never considered that before. He took a deep breath, closing his eyes once more. He focused on his haki, that indomitable spirit that resided within him. He began to weave it into the flames of his haki. The air crackled with intensity as Luffy struggled to maintain control. The two energies, one fiery and unyielding, the other fluid and adaptable, clashed within him. "Don't force it, Luffy," Naruto cautioned, sensing the potential danger. "Find a balance between the two, let them flow together naturally." Luffy gritted his teeth, his body trembling with exertion. He could feel himself losing control, the combined power threatening to overwhelm him. But he refused to give up. He'd come too far to back down now. He remembered Rayleigh's words, his old mentor's teachings about haki. Luffy took a deep breath, calming his mind. He stopped trying to force the energies together, and instead focused on finding a balance between them. He imagined his haki as the sun, a radiant source of power, and the chakra as the moon, a gentle but influential force, and then something incredible happened. The two energies, instead of clashing, began to complement each other. A golden aura enveloped Luffy's body, pulsating with a power unlike anything he had ever experienced. He opened his eyes and a surge of energy erupted outward, sending a shockwave through the clearing. Luffy felt a surge of exhilaration. He had combined his haki and chakra. News of Luffy's incredible power spread like wildfire. It reached the ears of a formidable foe, a rogue ninja with a thirst for power and destruction. He had heard tales of Luffy's haki, the mysterious power that could rival even the strongest chakra users. This rogue ninja saw Luffy as a challenge, a chance to prove his own strength and claim the combined might of haki and chakra for himself. He gathered his forces, a band of ruthless mercenaries and rogue shinobi, and set his sights on the Hidden Leaf village. Naruto, ever vigilant, received intel about the impending threat. He knew this was no ordinary enemy. He immediately thought of Luffy. But was Luffy ready to face such a powerful adversary? The day of the battle dawned bright and clear, a stark contrast to the storm that was about to unfold. A wave of tension hung heavy in the air as Naruto and Luffy stood side by side, facing the approaching enemy forces. Luffy, his straw hat tilted at a confident angle, cracked his knuckles, his eyes burning with a fiery determination. He could feel the enemy's power from afar, a swirling vortex of malevolence that sent shivers down his spine. Naruto, his normally cheerful demeanor replaced by a mask of steely resolve, met Luffy's gaze. "Ready, Luffy?" he asked, his voice calm but firm. Luffy grinned, baring his teeth in a feral snarl. "Bring it on!" he roared, his voice echoing across the battlefield. The battle was upon them. The clash was instantaneous and brutal, a symphony of chaos and destruction. Luffy, his body now a blur of motion, darted through the enemy ranks, his fists enhanced with Haki and Chakra, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. His movements were almost too fast to follow, a testament to his incredible speed and power. Each punch landed with the force of a cannonball, sending enemies flying through the air like rag dolls. The sheer impact of his blows was enough to create shockwaves rippling through the battlefield. Naruto, a whirlwind of golden energy, unleashed a barrage of Rasengans, each one carving a path of devastation through the enemy ranks. His attacks were precise and devastating, leaving no room for the enemy to counter. His shadow clones, indistinguishable from the original, harried the enemy from all sides, their attacks swift and relentless. The clones moved in perfect harmony, creating a web of confusion and chaos among the enemy ranks. But the enemy was relentless, their numbers seemingly endless. Wave after wave, they surged forward, determined to overwhelm Luffy and Naruto. They pressed their attack, their blades flashing in the sunlight, their jutsu exploding around Luffy and Naruto in a kaleidoscope of color and destruction. The battlefield was a chaotic blend of light and shadow, a testament to the ferocity of the conflict. Luffy, sensing the need for a change of tactics, called out to Naruto. His voice carried a sense of urgency, knowing that they needed to adapt quickly. "Naruto, let's combine our attacks!" he shouted, his voice barely audible above the din of battle. The idea of combining their strengths was their best chance at turning the tide. "All right, Luffy, let's show them what true teamwork is all about," Naruto responded, his determination evident. Together they prepared to unleash a combined attack that would demonstrate the true power of their synergy. Luffy, his eyes gleaming with determination, met Naruto's charge head-on. The air around them crackled with anticipation, as if the world itself was holding its breath. He activated Gear Second, his body radiating heat and power, enhanced further by the flow of chakra through his veins. The transformation was awe-inspiring, a true testament to his resolve and strength. He pulled his arm back, his fist crackling with a golden aura, the combined might of his Haki and Naruto's chakra. Their attacks synchronized perfectly, a seamless blend of their unique abilities. Naruto's Rasengan, a blazing sphere of pure energy, met Luffy's fist, the point of impact creating a shockwave that rippled outward, shattering the earth and sending a blinding light into the sky. The sheer force was unimaginable. The enemy forces caught in the blast were vaporized instantly, their once formidable presence reduced to nothing in the face of such overwhelming power. The shockwave continued outward, leveling trees and carving a chasm in the earth. The landscape was forever altered, a testament to the battle that had taken place. When the light faded and the dust settled, only Luffy and Naruto remained standing, their backs to each other, panting but unharmed. They had done it. They had faced the impossible and emerged victorious. Together they had overcome a threat that neither of them could have faced alone. Their combined strength was a force to be reckoned with. It was a testament to their individual strength, but more importantly, it was a testament to the power of their bond. The friendship forged in the fires of shared struggle and unwavering trust. This bond was their true power, a connection that made them unstoppable. Luffy, catching his breath, turned to Naruto, a wide grin spreading across his face. The two had just finished an intense training session, pushing each other to their limits. "That was awesome, Naruto!" he exclaimed, his voice filled with exhilaration. The thrill of their recent victory still coursed through his veins. "We did it! We beat them!" Luffy's voice echoed with triumph, their hard work and determination paying off. Naruto, his usual grin returning, nodded in agreement. The bond between them had grown stronger with each challenge they faced together. Yeah, we did, Luffy, he chuckled, wiping a bead of sweat from his brow. The sense of accomplishment was palpable. We make a pretty good team, you know that? Naruto's voice was filled with pride and camaraderie. The battle was over, but their journey was far from finished. Each victory was just a step towards their ultimate goals. Luffy knew he still had a long way to go before he could achieve his dream of becoming the Pirate King. The sea called to him, promising endless adventures, and Naruto as Hokage carried the weight of his village on his shoulders, always prepared to face new challenges and protect those he held dear. His duty was never-ending. But for now they allowed themselves a moment of respite, standing side by side. Two unlikely friends who had found common ground in their shared love of adventure, their unwavering determination and their belief in the power of friendship. It was these moments that made their journey worthwhile. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the battlefield, Luffy and Naruto knew that their paths would diverge once more. Each had their own destiny to fulfill. Luffy would return to the open sea, his crew awaiting his return, their adventures far from over. The horizon held endless possibilities, and Naruto would remain in the Hidden Leaf, his duty to his village unwavering. The safety and prosperity of his people were his top priorities, but the bond they had forged, the lessons they had learned from each other would stay with them always, a reminder that even the most distant of worlds could collide, and the most unlikely of friendships could blossom, creating legends that would be passed down through generations to come. Their story was far from over, and their legacy would inspire many.